Hello entrepreneurship students. I thought to make a video of how to complete your project if your desire for your career is to be an entrepreneur. So it's very important that you understand that you don't do the project as if it is for a small business. It is for you. So you will do the executive summary in the same way. You do the table of contents in the same way. You would do your introduction. You will introduce yourself as a professional person. So you would say that you are an aspiring entrepreneur that wants to make an impact in some sector in South Africa. It could be education, it could be fashion, it could be something. What is the industry that you are passionate about and that you would like to be an entrepreneur in? Then you would go through your stakeholders in the same way. You would write down who supports you, and then your industry. This is a brief description of the industry that you would like to work in or that you would like to be an entrepreneur in. So again, you would then discuss, if you want to be an entrepreneur in the education industry, you would discuss the education industry. If you want to be an entrepreneur in the fitness industry, you'll discuss the fitness industry. Okay? And if you want to be an entrepreneur in multiple industries, then I would suggest that you share a little bit about each of those industries. Problem solving. Then you would discuss that industry and you would discuss what are some of the problems that are currently in that industry. If it's in education, maybe the lack of books. For primary school students, I don't know, it depends on which specific part of the industry you are focusing on. So if you were doing primary education, you would focus on the lack of books, the lack of teaching resources, the lack of good schools, etc. So you would need to discuss some of the problems and opportunities in that industry. Then you would create a problem statement based on that, and then you would create you would create a professional people solution in a way. What type of person, what type of entrepreneur do you want to be? Okay, so it is a people solution, because remember, all business is people. So what type of people, what type of person do you want to become? What type of people does that industry need? It probably needs very entrepreneurial people that can solve problems using business, and you would want to become that type of person. Then again, you would talk about your products and services, your knowledge and skills, because you are the one becoming an entrepreneur. You are the one that's going to make a difference with the various businesses that you're going to open. So you would discuss your background, your qualifications, your work experience, your skills and abilities, your portfolio of examples of work that you've done, your referees and contacts. Just like I've done here. Okay? Customer description. Now this is where it becomes a little bit tricky. Your customer, in a way, is the people in that industry and the other organizations in that industry that you would like to work with and that you would like to partner with in the future, and possibly even people that you would like to serve with your organizations, potential customers of your potential businesses in the future. But mostly it would be other organizations in that industry that you want to serve and partner with. Maybe, for example, if you were doing primary education, providing books in the Eastern Cape, you would connect with the municipality of the Eastern Cape or the education ministry in the Eastern Cape. So you would have to think about who's your business going to partner with on that level, and then also consider some of the customers you would like to serve. For example, primary school students. Okay, so you have to cover all of those in here. You have to really think about that industry in depth. Schools, students, education department in the various provinces, publishers, and so forth. Then again, you would do a SWOT analysis about yourself, connected to the details related to your industry. Remember, because in the end, as an entrepreneur, you want people to follow you. You want people to work for you. So that's why you need to promote yourself. If you look at someone like Elon Musk, right? He's a very innovative person. So other people are attracted to him, to work for him, and to follow his vision. So you want to be that type of an entrepreneur. So that's why you have to discuss your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats. Okay? As an entrepreneur in your industry. Again, as a positioning introduction, you discuss your benefits and features that you want to or that you have. What can you do? What are your current benefits and features? What can you offer employees that you want to work with, or other organizations that want to work with you? What would you like to grow in? What is your competitive advantage? Is it that you are very good at production? Is it that you're very good at casting a vision? Is it that you're very good at networking with other organizations? What is it that sets you apart from other entrepreneurs? What's your unique selling point? When you ask, let's say there's 3 entrepreneurs standing next to each other and they all want to do work in delivering books for primary education, why would the Department of Education choose you? What is it that makes you unique and stand out from the other entrepreneurs? What are your disadvantages and weak points? And what are the future developments that you want to gain in your own personal life to grow your abilities? Then segmentation. So again, you would discuss here, primary education in South Africa would be your industry, like is in the example that I'm giving. What are the potential needs in that market? Books, better resources, teachers, etc. Okay, then you would segment the market. Now this is where it becomes a little bit tricky, because you're going to have to decide what are you going to segment the market based on, and that would depend on which specific industry you're focusing on. Okay, so in the primary education industry, you would segment the market probably based on location, also organization type and organization niche, and probably also organization focus. And yours would look a little bit different, because yours would be looking at the different organizations in each province. So you look at all the primary schools would be the one segment. Okay. Then there would be all the non-profit organizations that work with primary education and that serve primary education. That would be another segment of organizations, because they have a different focus. Their focus is on providing services to primary education, whereas the schools, obviously, their primary focus is delivering education. Then you would look at local and national government and how they serve primary education. And then you also look at other private institutions and businesses that try to serve the needs of primary education. So there would be 4 categories in this example, and you would have to set them apart. So this one would be schools, and then you would list all the schools. Then it would be NGOs, and you would list all the NGOs that serve primary education. Then you would list government and all the government departments that serve primary education. And then eventually you would list all the businesses that serve primary education. And then you would also separate them like this in terms of their focus, what they offer, and also their needs. What is it that they need? What types of organizations do they need to work within? What types of people do they want to partner with? Because remember, when it comes to entrepreneurship and solving problems, it's all about partnering with other organizations. Okay, so you would discuss what are their needs? What types of organizations do they need, or what type of organization do they need to become in order to partner with them? Okay, and then you would discuss here what types of organizations, or what do you want these organizations to be like for you to partner with them, right? So that you are willing to work with them, right? So what are their values that you want them to have, that you need for you to work with them? And then you would choose your 2 segments that you specifically want to work for. Do you want to specifically just work with government? Or do you specifically only want to work with schools? Or do you want to work with both? Or do you want to work with private institutions or other NGOs? Or who do you want to work with? Which 2 would you target? And then how would you target them? How would you build networks with those organizations and the different people in those organizations and the entrepreneurs and etc. that work in those organizations? How would you target them? And then how would you position yourself in that industry? What's required for you to become an entrepreneur in that industry? Is it an entrepreneurship degree? Is it experience in education? Is it experience in publishing? If it's got to do with books? What is it? And then you would list them in terms of your rank, your attributes. And then you would look at other entrepreneurs that could also have various experiences, that may also want to start a business developing books for primary school, right? And maybe their different strengths, and then you would also plot them on the map, these different competitors, these different entrepreneurs, right? And then you will explain your strategy. What is it that you're going to focus your skills and strengths on, and how are you going? In which direction do you want to move? And then what makes you different? How are you different? What makes you unique? Your natural abilities. What's your competitive advantage? Your positioning base, and so on, like I've explained in the other videos. And then lastly, you would also create a little marketing mix for yourself. Price strategy. Well, price strategy will be a little bit different, because you will have to charge a price for your services that you render to any organization that you start. So how should the organization that you start pay you? Will it be a salary? If you start an organization, that organization will have to pay you a salary. And then how are you going to brand yourself? Remember, most entrepreneurs also brand themselves. Okay? How are you going to dress? What do you want your employees to call you? And again, how are you going to promote yourself in the industry so that other people get to know about you and see you as an effective entrepreneur, as an effective business person? And again, focus on yourself in all these areas. And then lastly, simply choose to develop 6 different slogans for yourself. What is it going to be your mantra? What is your motto? What do you want your employees to remember about you? And whenever they hear you speaking, there must be a motto that you say that they remember you by, right? That they always say, that guy is always saying, be the best that you can be, if that's your motto, for example. Okay, so that's how you would do it as an entrepreneur. I trust that this has been helpful.